Sorry, we're running a couple minutes late, but I want to thank everybody for coming to CONNECTpreneur. This is our first evening event of the year. We're back to doing stuff post-COVID, and we really appreciate you guys coming to help celebrate great entrepreneurship, great entrepreneurs, and to network with investors and other business leaders. So I want to thank our sponsors because they are the ones who made this happen, and they're in the program book. So it's the partner page, and I'm going to read out each company. We have our landlord here, Tamaris. We have Amazon Web Services. Thank you, Jet. Refraction, which has the 8th floor in the north building, and they're hosting the after party tonight at 8:30. We're going to go upstairs for some wine and cheese, I guess, right, Esther? Next, powered by Shulman Rogers. Forvis, formerly known as DHG. Nelson Mullins. Stella Pop. Northern Virginia Chamber. Ryan and Wetmore, New York Life. AEG. Truist Financial. The annual Wharton DC Innovation Summit, which is happening in DC tomorrow. So it's not too late to sign up. If you want, go online and you can register. We have great speakers at that event. Startup Grind, the Smith School of Business Dingman Angels and the Dingman Center, Keiretsu Forum, National Association of Business Owners and Entrepreneurs, Baltimore Angels, the Center for Advancing Innovation, Institute for Excellence in Sales, Early Light Capital, FITSE, Georgetown Entrepreneurship, Maryland Tech Council, and I already mentioned Refraction, but thank you so much. And I know we're running a little bit late, but just so you guys know, we have a couple of speakers. Our partners are going to say a few words, and then we have 12 presenting companies, all very promising companies. So if you're an investor, hopefully you'll be able to talk to them and meet with them. We have all of our presenters have tables, and each of our presenters will be introduced by one of our partners. We have 3 sponsors who will be making introductions. We have Andy Tucker, Daryl Barros, and Will Choi. So they'll be introducing in batches of 4. So without further ado, I do want to bring up Esther Lee, who's our former Virginia Secretary of Commerce and who's now the CEO of Refraction and our host today. So Esther, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone, to my HUD. This is the building I come to work every day. It's a great building. So I run Refraction, as Tian said. Tian's actually on my board. We're so lucky to have someone like Tian. But we're a nonprofit innovation hub and co-working space. We offer mentoring, programs, and great office space for startups. So we've got a great community. So if any of you are looking for a new home, and this is right in the heart of Tyson's, as you know, we actually looked at lots of buildings. This is the only building that has an incredible gym with Pelotons and golf simulators and free classes. They've got basketball courts and tennis courts and free Uber rides to the metro and the malls. So there's no other building like this in Tyson's. But beyond that, we've got a great community and great mentors, people like Tian, who actually spend time with our startups. We do pitch events like this. We've done the Smart City Challenge and other things. And so I encourage you, we are hosting the after party. It's just upstairs to the 8th floor. We also have tours going on right now. It'll take you 5 minutes to check out what we look like. But we're really excited to meet you. And my passion for a long time has been helping startups create jobs and grow in our region. And this is what I did in the Obama administration. I ran Startup America. I led the Office of Innovation and Entrepreneurship. And so we go out of our way to make sure we introduce you to potential customers and investors and others. So thank you so much for coming. We've got a table right there. My cards are there. I look forward to meeting more of you tonight. Thank you.
Thanks, Esther. And if anyone's looking for some great space, Esther and her team can do tours.
2 free months.
2 free months, too. So you failed to mention the best feature of this place is, for those of you who watch my Snapchat stories, is the koi pond.
Oh,
we have a gorgeous koi pond outside. And this place is unbelievable. It's a high-quality building. Next, I'd like to bring up Julie Coons, who's the CEO and president of the Northern Virginia Chamber of Commerce, a longtime friend and partner. The Chamber is doing amazing things. If you guys are here in Northern Virginia or doing business in Northern Virginia and haven't joined yet, please join. They are moving into innovation, entrepreneurship. They have a great awards program for innovation that's covering the whole Mid-Atlantic now. But Julie, thank you so much for your support and for your partnership.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you so much. You know, Tian gave such a great introduction. I would just say that the Northern Virginia Chamber represents businesses across our region at all stages of development. And while we are large household names, we are also small companies as well. And really, you know, why we are so invested with Tian and with Esther and others in this ecosystem is we want to make sure this ecosystem grows, evolves, creates opportunity for all of you. And so that's really, you know, our mission here. We're the voice of business for Northern Virginia. We advocate throughout the region and in Richmond, and we want to make sure that we're always aware of the things that are opportunities for early stage and mid stage companies, as well as challenges. So again, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here, Tian. Thank you for all you do for the region, and enjoy your evening. Thank you.
Thanks, Julie. So we'll get the show started. We have 12 presenters, 4 to 4.5 minutes apiece. No Q&A. If you have Q&A, you can go out in the area when they have a table and you can talk a little bit more depth. And again, we have 8:30. We'll go upstairs to have a DJ, awesome DJ, JP DeGrosse, right there, and an after party. So, and we'll run till what? Midnight or okay. Yeah, I'm getting old. So I don't think I can stay that late. But yes, 2 free months. All right. Without further ado, Andy, come on up. We have longtime CONNECTpreneur sponsor and supporter Andy Tucker, who's a partner at Nelson Mullins, and Andy will introduce our first 4 presenting companies. Thanks, Andy.
I guess this stuff. I'm Andy Tucker. I'm a partner in Nelson Mullins in our DC office. I guess I'm the only one who got dressed up tonight. But for me, this is less formal. We represent technology companies throughout the Eastern Seaboard primarily. We're usually number 1 or 2 in terms of venture capital deals done in the southeastern United States in any quarter. It's a pleasure to be here. We've been a longtime supporter of CONNECTpreneur. You know, of course, in my case, across multiple platforms, because there is no better place to work with technology companies than with Tian and CONNECTpreneur and Esther's team now at Refraction. So my first company to introduce is Able Device. Able Device brings together disparate operating systems on mobile devices and brings them together in a standardized platform so that they can function as a single system and work together. So it's my pleasure to bring up Roger Dewey.
Okay, so we are Able Device, and there's been a whole bunch of developments in mobile networks recently. You have 5G, you have private networks, you got IoT, and right now enterprises are jumping in and saying, hey, we want to start doing things that make sense for our business instead of these bottom-up from the operator type applications, but there's still a lot of problems. IoT devices particularly are bespoke built, so unlike Android or iOS where you have one operating system where you can scale across different devices, this doesn't work on IoT. We also have a lack of a mobile enterprise ecosystem going on right now. So there's a bit of a struggle to make this all work correctly. There we go. So at Able Device, we have a standards-based approach. And the one thing we realized, and we all have backgrounds in the mobile industry, is that there is one standardized location in every device that's on a mobile network, and that's the SIM. So they have common operating systems. They have standards that are forwards and backwards compatible. And what we have is an agent called SIM-Bay that sits on the SIM that allows you to assemble your applications and deploy them across devices in the way that you want them to work. This is based on patents that we have that turn the SIM into kind of a dumb device or a slave in the architecture into a standalone processor that is able to run rules and event engines and applications. It works on any off-the-shelf device that has a SIM slot or a eSIM in it, so you can actually make machines that are already built and deployed in the field act differently. And we have a lot of solution areas that this makes sense for us. So device and service and connectivity, quality of service, network efficiency, app and device security, and IoT device applications and tools. So it works across different platforms also. It runs independent of the SIM card supplier. So it'll work on any SIM, 2G through 5G, from any supplier, on any network operator. Our competitors don't do that. So right now, our competitors are the SIM companies themselves, and they will do an applet for you, but it runs on their SIM only, and you can't really port it off. The team, we've been together for a long time. We're a little bit older, so everybody's worked together for at least 8 to 16 years, something like that. Had a lot of success in our careers at different levels in different companies. Our current business position, our revenue streams, the way we make money is software licensing. So we have zero cost of goods sold. We have an applet that sits on the SIM, and in every SIM that goes out the door, we get paid for a license fee. We have 4 major customers right now. We have a global payment service provider, and that's IoT. It manages the connectivity of the credit card readers that are in taxi cabs and restaurant handhelds, that sort of thing. We have a tier 1 operator in Europe that is using it to deploy the management between public networks and private mobile networks for their enterprise customers for all sorts of devices, whether it's a handset, a tablet, a truck, or a meter, or whatever it might be. We have a global EV OEM, which kind of surprised us. They came to us, they were looking for a security solution for accessing the subsystems in the vehicle. And what they decided was the SIM is a standardized security chip. So we're not even doing anything with connectivity with them. We're just managing the certificates and keys to get in to do the maintenance on the, in the vehicle. And then we have a US-based mobile network operator, and they're using it to manage connectivity across their roaming partners for their enterprise customers going forward. What we're seeking is investment, and it's going to sound like quite the scale there, quite the spread between $750 and $5 million. The 750, we can run the business just fine on 750, and actually with the EV guys do the security stuff. But there's a big play there for security for the government, and to do that, we need to go get cleared people and much more credible going forward. So that's why we have quite the spread there. Time's up. Sliding through anyway.
You don't end when Babe puts that time up sign. There's a really big guy out in the hallway who comes and drags you off and away. So you have to pay attention to our timekeeper up front with the little yellow cards. Now we're going to go in a totally different direction. I'd like to bring up Fiora Nicholas, who's the CEO of All Sober. All Sober is helping tackle the problems of drug addiction and other addictions, I guess, in this country, which apparently affects 59% of Americans, which is a number I was kind of shocked by when we were speaking earlier tonight. So you're up, Fiora.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Flora Nicholas. I'm the very proud CEO of All Sober, and I'm here to tell you about a game-changing platform and app that's going to help the 192 million Americans impacted by addiction. That's everybody in this room is going to know someone. The stats are shocking. 89% of people who need treatment don't get it. 192 million of us are impacted daily. 1 American dies every 11 minutes, and the numbers have gone through the roof during COVID. So what problems do people face when they're struggling with addiction? We went through this with a family member, and I will tell you, those 192 million people are impacted like we were daily. There's no completely centralized information. There's limited group support. You can't find treatment. It's all over the internet. There's fragmented sober networks and communities, and you need communities to stay sober. There's fragmented access to jobs and relaunch information. When people come out of treatment, they go off a cliff. There's insufficient sober lifestyle resources, and there's very little inspiration from others who will tell you that sobriety is possible and it is sustainable. So what have we done about it? We brought everything together for treatment, recovery, and sober life all in one place and for free on our platform and our apps, and they launched on May the 3rd. There are 7 main pillars, and it's all there: help and information, group support, treatment, recovery, community, jobs and relaunch, sober lifestyle, inspiration. Check it out. It's absolutely awesome. There you go. The apps, they're live. The platform and the apps are live. If you or your family members have any need, get on allsober.com and you can find the help you need. We're unique. The marketplace is traditionally siloed. Nobody's doing anything that we're doing. We're bringing it all together in one place, and we're the only ones who do that. Here's our competition. As you will see, we're doing everything you need, and some of the others are only doing a fraction of it. I'm not knocking anybody who's trying to help people with addiction, trust me. But this is a really big idea, and it's a really simple idea, and you can get on the platform and look at it right now. So we launched on May the 3rd. If you want any indication that but it has the potential to be a massive brand and massive company, just look at some of our social media stats. I'm just going to highlight 1 year. Our average Facebook engagement per post is 46%. That's 720 times greater than the average, which is 0.064%. Our average reach versus engagement is 95%. Stats for a brand that's doing well is 10 to 15%. What's doing it? Our positive messaging. Get on All Sober's Facebook page. We're being inundated by people who are sharing their stories and sharing their soberversaries, and it's absolutely inspiring. Our stats are growing daily because of it. We're engaging America's largest corporations, associations, treatment centers. We've already signed up some stellar treatment centers. We're having meetings at the moment with several of the brands that you see on this page. They're all interested in us helping their employees and changing the stigma of addiction in corporate America. We've already recruited several celebrities to be on the platform, as well as over 100 schools who are interested or in the process of being on the platform. Our celebs include 2 Rock and Roll Hall of Famers in Ralph Johnson and Ricky Byrd, and more are coming on daily. Our PR campaign is underway. We've already had extensive coverage or waiting for extensive coverage to come to us from some of these major media organizations. Our projections are big. We've done a low base case, just in case there's a recession. Our base case is solid, and our high case, if we blow it out of the park, we are going to be a great company no matter what happens in the economy. Our team is very experienced. You can see we've worked with some of the world's greatest companies. They're all up here on the slide. We've got the ability, the experience, and the talent to deliver this, and we're doing it daily. We've already raised millions of dollars to do this. We're looking for a further $5 million. We have post-money valuation at $20 million. If you're interested, come and see us. We're looking for investors who want to help us make a difference and do well at the same time. Thank you for your time.
Next, it's my pleasure to bring up Ron Lewis of At Work, one of my neighbors in Roslyn. I was just looking at the address. Ron's company is the only software you will ever need to scale your government contractor from birth to the beach. And they provide all the services you will need to grow. And I am told that it's time to invest now or lose your opportunity. And it's my pleasure to bring up Ron Lewis.
Again, I'm Ron Lewis. The company's At Work Systems. We build innovative SaaS platforms for government contractors. So let's talk a little bit about the life cycle the government contractor goes through. It's not uncommon for a government contractor to start their business doing staff augmentation. They're working for a prime. They're working as a subcontractor for a prime. But eventually what they want to be able to do is take a journey and grow their capability so that they actually can become the prime contractor. There's a whole myriad of capability and solutions that they need in order to be able to get to that level of performance. We have built a platform that allows them to be able to automate that. And typically, if they invest too early, they can make their actually business worse because they can take on more costs than they can actually, charge to the government. So timing is very important. We have a SaaS platform called OneLink, and what that platform does is allows them to come onto the platform wherever they are in that journey. So they could be a startup, or they could be a 10,000 person prime contractor. And this is the only platform that they need as they grow their company through that set of capability. We also make a SaaS platform because what happens is in the GovCon space, there is a lot of interest in making companies more secure. The government has invested billions of dollars in IP, and they want to protect it. So there's a whole set of requirements coming out around CMMC and around 800-171. And we allow the companies who are operating in this environment to be able to assess themselves, be able to put the remediation planning in place, and also be able to automate the activities associated with conducting the audits and assessments. Once they have been certified, we then do the continuous monitoring so they can stay compliant. There's a huge market for, and a significant market for the OneLink and the CyberPlan, product. We're focusing on the GovCon market, and that represents a $4.6 billion market for us. So it's huge. When you look at us relative to the competitors, what makes us very different is the way we can actually scale our capability. So you can come onto the platform as a startup, and you can be a 10,000 person company. And the way we've done that is we've introduced some very interesting, IP around how we actually do the configuration and how we turn switches to be able to get you the capability you need when you need it. That's very important. So, 20 years ago, there was just-in-time manufacturing. We're just-in-time capability. What's the traction that we have gotten? We are well beyond our MVP. We're doing strategic relationships with accounting and security firms. We're also have built out a fairly robust go-to-market strategy that will help us scale this business very quickly. My team is very experienced. We have deep functional expertise in the GovCon market, both in the financial area and in the security area and in the ops area. We'll generate $1 million in revenue by 2022. By 2023, we'll be profitable. And by 2026, we'll generate $35 million. Our ask is $1.5 million that we're trying to raise at this point. We've raised $975K of it. We expect that by Q3 of 2023, we'll do a Series A round. Thanks for your time, and most of my team is here, so if there are any follow-up questions, come meet us at our table.
Next up is Carewear. This shows the reach of our community. Our next CEO is in from Reno, Nevada. So we're happy to have Chris Castell with us. Wearable therapeutics, you've probably seen him out there. He's got one on right now to demonstrate. Hopefully he's not attached to anything bad. And,
no, I don't think so. I think we're
but here we go,
okay.
Chris.
Okay, how does this work?
Just push
Everyone
the down
seems
button.
to be struggling with this.
So we-
Okay, very good. Well, look, it's great to be here. Hopefully I'm a little able to talk after doing a red eye from Vegas last night, but we'll look forward to taking you through the story. Carewear is an established medical device manufacturer. We have patented platform technology, and we have regulatory approvals in numerous countries globally. We're offering a Series A funding of $10 million, which we need to scale sales. Oh, well, wrong direction. Okay. Yeah, so what's the problem? And, we alluded to this a little earlier, but we have inadequate solutions for the management of acute pain and soft tissue injury. And unfortunately, those lead to all sorts of terrible sequelae, from opiate addiction, chronic musculoskeletal pain, long-term soft tissue injury, and these drive major human and healthcare costs. It's pretty substantial. Over $100 billion is spent in this marketplace. I liked your talk, by the way, on this, because we got involved in looking at how do you prevent addiction. And you prevent addiction by having therapeutics that prevent people from going on board to begin with. So that's been a very interesting and exciting opportunity. Our first product area has been the use of photobiomodulation, or what we call the power of pulsed blue and red light. This is an area I've been involved in for the last 30 years, and have launched in several companies. Our last company was sold to Hanger for $160 million. I was the founder of that business. And we decided to come back and start making products for use in the home. We have demonstrated efficacy in pain and soft tissue injury. And you can see here an example of, we shoot tennis balls in our students, by the way, into their quads. And you make this nice little pre-injury here. And then following that, you apply our light patches for 30 minutes, and bingo, away you go. And incidentally, almost all of the pro sports teams use our products, and they're paid for under their workman's comp programs, from the NFL all the way to women's basketball Olympic team. You can see the solution is a very nice wearable. This is one of our technologies. And we also have a very neat app that ties into this and allows clinicians to monitor under remote therapeutic monitoring the activities that are taking place in home care. Now, here's something rather interesting. Oh, boy. Hold on. Oh, my gosh. I can't scan this. Well, basically, what you would see in this slide is the fact that on the left, the lady here with osteoarthritis is going down the stairs in a very slow way. Come by and see this when you're through. And 2 weeks later, we're seeing significant changes in gait performance. We've done this on double-blind clinical trials, and we're also using this for post-op in total knee replacement. In this particular case, you can see that our platform, using wearable light and other wearables, has sizable markets. I'm not going to go into each, but we're looking anywhere from digital therapeutics. I wrote part of the standards for the ANSI Digital Therapeutics Standard, and we received one of the top awards this year from CES for our products. And we have a great team. We've worked together. We've gone through this before. This would be our fourth startup, and all three of them, or all four of them, I guess, three of them have been successful exits. We're not there on the exit yet on this one, but we're working at it. And we funded to date about $13.5 million through our family offices. And we have a really good core investor with Trevor St. Baker with the St. Baker Energy Innovation Fund located in Australia, who also partner in some of our other ventures. We have a robust IP portfolio, 65 issued patents. We focus on pain recovery, and we have very significant competitive advantages for our products. Lastly, we have a commercial phase where Carewear enables healthcare providers to implement home-based wearable therapeutics, digital health, and telehealth. It's Medicare reimbursed. 100 million people have pain in the U.S., maybe more than that, and we make a margin of $465 per patient. Come talk to us. We have a pretty exciting story and a great team, and thank you very much for the presentation here.
Chris. Okay. Thank you so much. Good luck with everything.
Well, we're working at it.
Yeah. All right. To introduce our next four presenters, we have Daryl with Next, powered by Shulman Rogers. Daryl Barrows, he is a venture capitalist. He is a serial entrepreneur, has run funds before, and of course, he's an attorney. So come on up, Daryl. Thank you so much for all of your support.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Tian. Yeah, now I have my lawyer hat on today. Thank you, Tian, and the CONNECTpreneur team for this event. Just a quick commercial. Next is an innovative new model for delivery of legal services from launch to every stage of growth, and it's been designed by a partner of mine, Anthony Millen, from the entrepreneur's perspective. For more information, www.next.com. Sorry, .next.law. He would slap me if you saw that. The first company I'd like to introduce is Carewear. Carewear is an exciting new company that is rapidly gaining traction in the HR technology market with a SaaS-based product called Action Logics. Please welcome Ed Bodenseek, CEO.
Thanks so much. I want to talk to you. I need the clicker. I want to talk to you about a people problem that business has, and a people problem that most of us in this room probably don't think too much about, because we are knowledge workers, and I want to talk to you about the hourly worker. The hourly worker that is too often treated with disrespect, that is thought of as there's so many of them, just put them in the recruiting funnel, put them in the enterprise, and if it's leaky, if they quit, if they ghost us, let's just fill the top of the funnel all over again. It's a very expensive problem. So here's the current reality. Hourly workers apply for jobs, and they're left wondering for weeks or even months what happened? It's a black hole. You apply, you might get an email, hey, we'll let you know if we need you. You got to feed your family. You're not going to wait around for weeks or months. You're gone. You also have new expectations as a customer. Customer experience, which is my background, applying this now to the hourly worker to treat them like customers. So on the job, listen, these people are delivering packages, they're taking care of patients, they are in warehouses, they are not in front of computers like you and me. So the solution really comes down to something mobile, to reach them where they're at. These costs of the high cost of turnover is staggering. Businesses are in a ton of pain around this issue. Unfortunately, HR doesn't really have the skills to solve this with technology. They turn to a very, very busy IT shop. The solution we've developed is called Action Logics. This is a way for HR to deliver a mobile-based experience to keep candidates in the recruiting funnel, saving the business lots of money, and keeping employees, hourly employees, from turning over so quickly. So, the current reality, I just applied for a job. You go to the career site at company X. You're wondering what happened to the application. You say, forget them, I'm out of here. With Action Logics, you have a mobile app on your phone that you get from the enterprise you've applied for. Now you can see every single action that the employer is taking with your application. Think of the Domino's pizza tracker. Anybody ever use that? You can see the pizza's in the oven. The pizza's on its way to you. People want a customer experience, and talent and hourly workers are no exception. Once you start the job, we're going to make sure you've ordered your uniform so it's ready for you on the first day. We're giving you directions where you need to go. We're going to put you in what we call pathways. So we personalize the experience on the mobile app. And so you can create all kinds of things around diversity and leadership initiatives, training on healthcare literacy, all kinds of pathways HR can directly control. Asking for feedback, for example. Market is huge. The HR tech spend continues to go up. I can tell you that, yes, we have competition, but we are the ones that were mobile-based from the very, very beginning. We come out of the world of gaming design, where if you go into a room and you make a selection, basically you're going to have a new level unlock. You're going to have a new set of features unlock. We do that in this mobile app, again, using those principles as well as behavioral science. We integrate with the major HR systems. We tell the enterprise, you know what, double down on the investment you've already made. You don't have to rip any of that out. We're going to integrate right into that and make this easy for you. Some great traction so far. We've inked deals with VMware, our solutions partner, with Insight. Also, we established our route to market with Dell. They signed us up as they are our distributor. Thank you. CIO Review is about to name us a Dell Startup of the Year. That's coming out in a couple weeks. And we're building Pipe as our go-to-market strategy through some big-time partners. Great management team. I can tell you the thing I'm most proud of, we've got great backgrounds and all the logos you can imagine. What I'm most proud of is our culture. We're about employee experience, and we apply that to ourselves, and we work really, really well with the team, as a team. On the financials, we sold Action Logics to FedEx in December of 2021. We went live with the MVP 2 weeks ago. I can tell you they are very, very happy. The pipe is growing very, very nicely with that account. I expect that, based on current discussions, to be at 4 to 6 mil next year, given what's happened so far. We are building the pipeline in other verticals in high turnover industries, and we're doing that through our partners. We're doing our raise right now specifically to give TLC. We're looking for $2 million on a convertible note, and we're doing that to really partner enablement. I'm not going to go down the road of direct sales. I have massive partners, huge ecosystems. They're ready to sell, massive sales forces. It's a great opportunity. So I want to thank you for your time. I also want to tell you I should not be going the wrong direction, and tell you that, again, thank you for your time. And Tien, where are you? Thank you, by the way, for putting us at the first table as you go out the door. So that's where we are. So just thank you. I'll slip you the 100 later. So when you think about an exit, that's the door that you want. I'll see you later for questions. Thank you.
Next, Data Boy. Data Boy's team of engineers, scientists, and thought leaders specialize in smart sensor networks. Please welcome Kathleen Griggs.
Hello. My name is Kathleen Griggs, and I am CEO of Data Buoy Corporation. I'm here to talk about a somber subject, gunfire and gun violence, and Data Buoy makes a gunfire localization system. Every commercial property is required to put in a fire detection system. But it turns out today, we are 10 times more likely to die in gun violence, or people are 10 times more likely to die in gun violence than a fire. So gun violence, according to CDC, has been creeping up. It's now surpassed motor vehicle deaths. It's a leading cause of death. The last time there's been a fire in a school was last death from a fire in a school was 1958. But we've had 250 school shootings last year. So think about the 80s, where fire detection systems were mandated because they work, because fast notification works. We have an automated system that provides the same type of tool, fast notification, and it works. Our system is called ShotPoint. It has, very similar to smoke detectors, these small little devices that go in your environment, indoors and outdoors. They locate on the shot. We instantly, it's 100% automated, push that report out to police, first responders, your local security. We send text messages, and we also integrate with things like access control systems and PA systems. We also add intelligence. So our system integrates with video systems and available cameras. Our shot report, again, pushed out in an instant. You get the exact location of the shooter. We have better than 2-meter accuracy. Most of the time it's better than 1-meter accuracy. We have an image of the shooter, we have an audio clip, and we have a before and after video, and that goes directly out to all the subscribers. So we're road tested. This is a real event. It's a great example of what's happening when a shot occurs. The shooter, by the way, the gun is in and out in a second. There's no way anyone really would have seen it, but we caught it. And we sent that report out to 150 subscribers. Everyone had the information instantly. Everyone can see, because we have the exact location, you can see where the shooter is. Everyone can identify the shooter. And we've been used in real crimes. With the identity shooter, arrests have been made. No one can do this. No one has ever done anything this fast. We work for other type of life safety situations. Because we have a mobile panic button, we call it the geofob. It's a nice picture of it. The panic button works with radio localization. Our detectors are also radio receivers. So we offer 2 for 1. We have the panic button plus the shot detection and in a single system. The gunshot detection market, it is a huge available market. It's an emerging market. So there's not a lot of numbers around the address of the serviceable market, but it is an enormous market. The number of players are very small, very few competitors, and we are the most accurate, we're the most reliable, and most versatile system. So we win on all of that. In the mobile panic button market, again, it's a little more defined. It is another big market. There are more players in it, but when we combine it with shot detection, nobody offers that. We meet all of the most stringent criteria, and the market allows us to get in because there's mandates for schools and hotels. We're booking $2 million of revenues this summer. We have a plan for addressing the growth. We have very strong patents. We have great relationships with customers because we've been working with them for a while we're piloting the system. We've made some key sales to some serious customers. Our team is heavy on the Genius side, and our funding that we're asking for is to provide more sales representation and more customer support. We had $20 million, thank you, the federal government gave us that, and we're asking for an additional 6 for currently. And I think I'm done, and well, let's hopefully come and visit us, and if you want to make the world a safer place.
Next up, Express Cells. Express Cells is a rarity, a biotech company that has customers. Here to tell you about that is Matt Handel.
Express Cells, as you heard, we're a biotech company, but we're not doing what everyone else is. We're not spending years in development trying to develop the next therapeutic or diagnostic. We do outsource gene editing for other people, primarily researchers in pharma and biotech, which means we're out in the marketplace, we have happy customers, we have repeat customers, and we're not raising money for more science, though we always do science. We're raising more money to grow. We want to get larger, we want to become profitable, and then we want to be acquired. So when you hear gene editing, and I'm sure most of you did not major in biology in college, by the way, I didn't either, why do people edit genes? Well, a lot of it is for research. For years, as you know, before you do research in people or in animals, you have to do it in cells. And people want cells that fit the experiment, their needs. That's why the research market is so huge. 1.85 billion last year in CRISPR gene editing. In 2012, that was a zero. It's grown to 6.5 billion in 2028, and our segment is the largest. So you're thinking, everyone must be happy. No, they're not. The problem is that they're not getting what they're looking for. Our segment, knock-ins, which is where you take a gene and insert it in the cell, that's hard to do. It can take up to 6 months to get a cell line. You have limits on what you can do. You can't do complicated projects. Genes may go in the wrong location. So bad research, and it takes too long to get there. We have a solution. I promise this is the only scientific slide I'm going to show you. There will not be a quiz afterwards. We use CRISPR to cut into the genome. CRISPR is a naturally occurring molecule. It's found in bacteria. And people at MIT, as well as the University of California, figured out a way to make it work as a tool. So we use it to create a cut, and then we use what's called a plasmid, free-floating bit of DNA that's patented that we insert in there. We trick the cell into inserting the DNA for us, and then we're able to quickly call out the non-transfected cells. What does that mean? We're not saying 6 months. We can get things to a customer in 2 months. We can do very complicated projects, stuff that other companies don't even want to try, and we're FDA compliant. You know, if we send someone a cell line, they can use it to file with the FDA. I want to make it clear, though, we don't come under FDA purview. We leave that to the customer. FDA is great, but I've dealt with them. I can show you some of the scars from that later. What does this mean? This is the really important stuff. We have almost 40 customers. We have patents in the US, coming in Europe, others in negotiation. It says over 500,000, so I don't have to keep revising that. As of this morning, it's over $800,000 in our pipeline. We have distributors in Japan. We're negotiating in Europe. We've just built a new, larger facility. In other words, it's not, don't think of us as a biotech, and you have to understand the science. We're a business with traction, but we need to grow. You look at our customers and you realize there's a lot of opportunity for repeat business. We've done 4 cell lines for Genentech. You know, we've done multiple projects now for several of these customers. Bear in mind that many of these customers, though, they're small companies. They can grow with us. We've got a great leadership team. We've been together now for 3 years. Oscar is my co-founder. He's the one who actually knows the technology. I'm the co-founder. I know the business. You can see we have a great background. Our business model is pretty straightforward. We have our own lab. We have our patents. We promote in a variety of ways. And I'm going to come back to that because that's what we need to do more of. And you can see 80% margin, $30 million revenue targets are great. How do we make money? 4 revenue streams, current business, primarily research tools. Second is international. We're just starting to scratch the surface there. An expanded product line. Let's do stem cells. Let's do cell lines for production purposes. And the last is developing a royalty-based business. What are we doing? We're raising $3 million. We already have $1.5 million banked. We're raising an additional $1.5 million. We want to hire sales reps. We want to hire promotional people. We want to spend more money to get more customers. So I hope you join us. I'm happy to answer your questions out at the table.
Okay, the last company I'd like to introduce is Happily. Happily is the country's leading employee connection platform. To tell us more about this is Caitlin Eisler.
Hi, everybody. My name is Caitlin Eisler. I'm the CEO and founder of Happily. Happily is the first employee connection platform designed to support this distributed workforce. Before I take you forward to what we've built, give you a little bit of background. I spent 15 years in executive search in the software space. I was a partner at a global consulting firm, had my daughter, and realized how hard it is to be a working parent. What I also realized is that it wasn't just hard for working parents. The benefits that were available weren't solving the everyday challenges of any employees to feel connected. What we know is that only 1 in 4 employees feel connected to their organization. And that cost, as you know, if you're a business owner or you're an investor, is staggering, and it's a huge impact, has a huge impact on the business. 90% decrease in the likelihood of great work, 11 times increase in burnout, and 6 times increase in attrition to a company. Amazing or devastating opportunity or cost to the business. So Meet Happily, it's the country's leading employee connection platform, which empowers companies to create a connected culture through real-world, offline interaction. And we do this in a number of ways. We do this through activities, volunteer opportunities, connection to your team members, whether you're in the office or distributed across all 50 states, and we celebrate milestones as well. As you think about Happily, we think a lot about how do you help companies design a culture that enables the business to succeed. So the customer needs a solution that is employee or led. What the employee gets, a solution that is employee lived. These employee connection platform features are cloud-based calendar, culture calendar, plans that support wellness, corporate social responsibility, and ways to get people to meet up in their time outside of work, and then tools to track and cultivate employee connection. On the employee side, participation in wellness and corporate social responsibility, all things that positively impact people's mental health. These are real-life ways for people to connect, and if anybody else in this room has lived through the pandemic, you know how lonely it was for people. People are dying to connect in person, and if your company is the catalyst for that, you can create a culture that not only makes people feel connected and part of their culture, but makes them perform better at work. The market opportunity is tremendous, so it's a $52 billion market globally. Our slice of that market right now is $5 billion. That's companies with over 1,000 employees in the US. And for us, that market segment is only growing as we look to expand globally in the next 12 months. Oops. The market is really interesting. Employers are spending between $200 and $1,200 a year on these benefits. And as you can see from the landscape, there are a lot of interesting things out there, but we are the only platform that drives a true culture of connection and has the ability to not only support people's physical health, but their mental health, and bring them together in ways that really move the business forward. Our target customer, as I mentioned, is companies with over 1,000 employees. They have a hybrid or fully remote environment. We're in Appian's building today, which is super fun. They're one of our foundational customers. And they have evidence of investing in employees with progressive benefits. Our decision maker is the CHRO. This is a person I've sold to for the last 15 years and have great relationships with, and they helped us to actually create this product. And they've been instrumental in bringing this to life, which is why they're early adopters. Our pricing is it's a subscription service. We started at $100 a year with a minimum of 250 seats, and that has grown and changed. Our original mission was to support people with kids, working parents, and it's grown based on our customer feedback to the entire population. So we're working right now through some different pricing models that are all around platform instead of individual. As you can see, we have some amazing current customers on board. So proud to work with companies like Navy Federal and Appian already. Both of them have already signed on for their second year, so we're really excited about that commitment and opportunity to continue serving them. And then you can see our pipeline. We've got some incredible companies, lots of DC area based that are going through pilots right now, which will account for significant revenue this year. We have an amazing team, experienced in the wellness space, and consumer products, really incredible crew that comes to the table with different experiences to make each other great. We're looking at $50 million in the next 5 years, and great opportunities for exit strategy across a variety of industries. We're raising $2.5 million. So grateful for Cav Angels as our lead and VIPC, who's been a huge supporter to get us to this stage. So thank you.
Thank you, Caitlin. Great job. I'm on Jen O'Daniel's investment advisory board. When I first saw Caitlin present a couple months ago, I was blown away. So great job with everything. Now to present our final 4 presenters, I would like to bring up Will Choi, who's an audit and assurance partner with the firm of Forbes. Those of you who don't know Forbes may not know Forbes because it's a new name for your company. His predecessor company, DHG, merged with another company and they created Forbes, which is now a pretty darn big accounting firm. But we really appreciate all of your support over the years and thank you so much. And before I give the mic over to Will, I do want to say that we are having an after party up at Refraction on the 8th floor at around 8:30, 8:45. Food will be served down here with open bar until about 8:30, 8:45. So thank you guys for coming again, and let me turn it over to Will.
Thank you, Dan. All right, so I'll just give a quick plug to Forbes. Many of you have never heard that name, and newly created out of a merger of my prior firm, Dixon Hughes Goodman, with a Midwest firm, BKD, created Forbes. Instead of adding more letters together, they decided to come up with a novel name and paid a large New York firm to come up with Forbes. So there's that. With that, we're spread across 28 states, 5,500 employees, and right now, in terms of revenue size, we're top 10 in the country in terms of accounting firms. So audit, tax, advisory, full service accounting firm. With that, I'm going to introduce the first speaker here, Arun Prabhu from Lancet. Lancet accelerates the fight against global diseases of poverty by developing and delivering affordable, sustainable solutions that are safe to use at scale. Thank you. And he's come a long way to present. So.
Amsterdam. Okay. Good evening. It's shocking how, after years of progress, the cases of malaria are on the rise once again. And what's alarming is there are 1,500 lives being lost every single day. It was in 2011 on a business trip to Kenya, I found myself in the funeral of a 4-year-old child. I was shocked to hear that the child died because of a mosquito bite. Fast forward, 5 years later, I was back in Kenya once again, and this time with my business partner, meeting with the Ministry of Health and discussing their malaria elimination strategy. From that point, there has been no turning back, and Lancet has developed a unique two-track approach. Track 1 addressing a near-term solution, Track 2 addressing long-term solutions, both of which are sustainable and scalable. On Track 1, we improve on current available technologies by margins that significantly disrupt the status quo. For example, our next generation BedNet, which is a dual ingredient, fast-acting product which knocks down and kills mosquitoes, which works on a patented slow-release technology. And take our next generation indoor residual sprays, which last for twice more than any other product in the market. And what's more, at economies of scale, this brings very, very high impact. And on Track 2, we have a drug discovery project where we are screening natural compounds, and we have screened more than 200,000 compounds in the last 2 years and finalized 21 for next phase of trials. And this project is being funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And all of this wouldn't be possible without a diverse and experienced team of scientists and entrepreneurs, along with a bunch of academia where we have a strong research partnership in our ecosystem. And on funding, we have raised more than $10 million over the last 10 years, each of which has been used to achieve significant milestones. So, where are we now? Lancet is close to market entry after completing the high-risk stages of product development, and our first product enters the market in the year 2023. With regard to our serviceable market, which is at $2 billion, and demand for vector control products continue to grow year on year. And the year 2025 is our year of break-even, with a revenue of $125 million. It would be good to notice that it is a de-risked business because there are 87 malaria endemic countries, and each of the country has a malaria prevention budget. So we have 3 unique channels through the Ministries of Health, through the global donors, and most of whose offices are here within the 20-mile radius. Our current ask is for $12 million in equity and loans, and $5 million is being used to complete our final phase of trials, and $7 million for capital equipment for manufacturing and working capital. As I mentioned before, there are 1,500 deaths every single day. And out of all of these, more than 80% of them are children under the age of 5, which equates to 1 child dying every single minute. And this is what is fueling our passion every single day and which is pushing forward. If this resonates with you, let's join hands together. And if you want to participate in a high impact, urgent, as well as de-risked business, we are here at the table and very much happy to talk to you. Thank you so much.
Okay, the next presenter is Brian Alexander, who's the U.S. president of Amina Technologies. Amina Technologies is an expert in trustworthy and explainable artificial intelligence machine learning solutions using their company-developed software AI as a service platform called Justify and focused on risk solutions.
Good. Hello, I'm Brian Alexander, and I'm the president of Amina Technologies US. Thanks to Tien and thanks to CONNECTpreneur for having this event. Amina Technologies built Justify to radically change the way data and artificial intelligence is used in delivers value to high-stakes environments. AI works well in low-risk applications, like recommending what movie I should watch next. But with high-risk applications, there's a problem. 92%. There we go. 92% of these types of AI initiatives fail. Why? Because there's a high risk and complexity. There's significant compliance and reputational risk. Stakeholder alignment is difficult and time-consuming. When patients, doctors, regulators, and also ethics committees and legal officers all need to trust in an AI solution, and resources are scarce. Complexity drives costs, and the lack of expertise blocks a lot of projects. Justify is an AI as a service platform that will change all of this. Justify translates business requirements into one or more AI solutions that can then be compared. And the best alternative can then be immediately deployed into production. And it will be trusted. Why? Because the stakeholder alignment and compliance is included in the design. It's by design. Justify consists of 3 key components. The dynamic user consultation enables shared decision-making by capturing all of the requirements and objectives from all stakeholders. The expert reasoning system is like having the knowledge of a data engineer at your fingertips. Justify reasons on the user consultation, but also on domain knowledge, like medical knowledge and an understanding of regulatory requirements. And last, there's an ethical and trustworthy AI layer that ensures that there's compliant AI solutions being built. The overall AI market is huge. It's $47 billion currently and expected to rise to $637 billion by 2030. And a portion of this is addressable, where we're talking about high-risk AI applications. Those are addressable for Justify. But even narrowing the focus to the smaller AI governance market for healthcare and life sciences, there's strong expected growth. Competitors are in the auto ML and the AI governance market, but none are offering a platform like Justify that enables stakeholder alignment and also provides expert reasoning and builds a trustworthy AI solution by design. We currently have 3 Justify clients, including 2 Fortune 500 companies, and we expect to add 2 more soon. Justify has a vertical market with its AI use case library, and there's also a horizontal market for trustworthy AI as a service whenever high-risk, high-stakes decisions are being made with AI. Our CEO, Rachel Alexander, assembled a team that's poised to take Omnia to the next level. We expect to receive $425,000 in Justify sales and licensing this year, and we project that that will grow significantly thereafter. We've raised $250,000 so far in the current $2 million convertible round. The funds will be used to support Justify go-to-market this year and to work towards making Justify a self-service platform next year. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to talking to you outside in my table.
Okay, next presenter is Kenneth Barton. He's the CEO of SafetySpect. SafetySpect has developed multi-mode sensing platforms with AI data analytics for sanitation, inspection, and disinfection.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ken Barton. I'm the CEO of SafetySpect. We have a platform technology of sensing and optics that can identify things that you can't visually see. And we end up basically scanning objects of interest, and they will light up like a hot spot, colorized depending on what they are in our interface. So we have a contamination detection, a sanitization, and disinfection device that also documents the process. It's the world's only system to detect and disinfect in seconds. So with the advent of COVID, I think there's a new perception of what's clean in the world. And what we ended up doing is basically building a device that can scan a variety of different places or different use cases. Our flagship product is actually for kitchens, commercial kitchens. And we can actually identify biofilms that are the home of nasty things like Salmonella, Listeria, and E. coli. We can also identify an enzyme in human beings' respiratory droplets, and we're published, peer-reviewed, the only company that can identify basically respiratory droplets that you can't visually see in the world. So we detect things with our imaging and sensing technologies. We disinfect utilizing UVC. This, again, is peer-reviewed and published, where we actually have rangefinders and LiDAR on our device, so we actually know when anything is either neutralized or killed that we're targeting. We document the process through videotaping it and generating basically a report. And we have AI that can prioritize risk, so we tell you where to go clean. The technology was originally developed by the USDA and the US Army. They had an issue getting it from the lab to the field that we fixed. We have a CRADO, Cooperative Research and Development Agreement, with the USDA, their ARS group, as well as the US Army and their Soldier Center. And we basically took their product and we made it much more sensitive, and we have the exclusive licenses that are patented to commercialize it. We've also filed many patents on our own. Our target customers initially are for restaurants and the commercial kitchens. It's a massive market. We're going after chain restaurants like Chipotle, McDonald's, Yum Brands. There's also medical applications where what we're going to do is scan hospitals and create specific use cases for scanning and disinfecting hyperbaric chambers, MRI machines, CAT scans. We work with the USDA. They're actually clients of ours. They bought our machines. We're working with companies like Simplet, the US Army, United Airlines is a client, beta client. We're working with assisted living facilities, a variety of different use cases for the technology. We have very strong projected revenue. If you look at year 2022, that basically equates to selling 15 units. 2023 is 30 units. and 24 is 2,000 units. We've actually made much more money than that in the last 2 years off of OTAs and beta sales. Our competitors, we really don't have any direct competitors in the marketplace. The companies that do things like ATP swabs, we make their technology more effective by showing them where to scan or where to swab. Our core team has basically raised billions of dollars and had multiple exits, and we have FDA basically experience, and we don't need FDA approval unless we're going to go and disinfect hospitals. Our investment needs, we're currently raising $10 million today for a $40 million pre-money. To date, we've raised over $11.1 million in grants, indirect funding, and direct investments, such as OTAs and traditional SBIRs. Our headquarters is in North Dakota, and we have offices in California. Love to talk to anybody that's interested in our technologies. Our other applications are in the healthcare and in the basically the food space. Thank you.
Okay, and the final presenter for the evening is Ari Manuel, CEO for BlackRing. BlackRing has developed algorithm technology, creating immutable and forgery-proof data that can be transmitted safely over any network.
I'd like to introduce BlackRing, the world's first forgery-proof data system. Now, what is forgery-proof data, and why do we need it? The internet has a problem. Fraudulent, fake, and infected files currently proliferate the web. This harms both content distributors and receivers. Anyone who has used the internet has at some point thought to themselves, is this file safe? There is no current fix to this issue, and the only thing we can do is add extra verification checks that can further be compromised. Our solution is a forgery-free web powered by the BlackRing algorithm. Distributors who use our algorithm will be able to guarantee the legitimacy and safety of any file that they create. By fixing this fake data issue, we also further fix the need for extra data verification checks. The BlackRing algorithm is the key to a safer web. Now, to access the unprecedented guarantees provided by the algorithm, our patent must be licensed. Wild West Labs will pursue patent licensing as our main revenue stream rather than building out a service for BlackRing ourselves. This algorithm will serve a powerful market of large corporations and governments who hold major amounts of CPU power. More power means more data can be secured with better security. Wild West Labs has received one of the fastest patents of all time, getting 19 claims and going from application to grant in just 8 months. We have also further completed a working proof of concept that is optimized and ready to scale. And a little bit about the team. My name is Ari Manuel, former software engineer, founder and CEO of Wild West Labs, and I started this company with my 2 college classmates, Jacob Lopez and David Starr, who handle the non-technical side of the business. Wild West Labs will use a dual stream business model where we charge customers separately for IP rights and usage rights. On a long-term time frame, the algorithm will be used more and more and more by a smaller but more powerful set of patent licensees. Today we are here seeking connections in related industries that stand to benefit from the BlackRing algorithm. We've only just received our full patent just a couple months ago, so it's a little bit too early for cap tables and valuations, but today the important point is the algorithm and its potential. And we need to connect to industry leaders like Apple, Microsoft, Intel, IEEE, W3C, so that we can get this idea in front of the top minds in technology and start fixing problems. If you have any potential connections or just interested in what we've built, please come to our table. We're right outside. We're the first table you see when you enter. So please come and have a conversation. We love to talk. Thank you.
Thank you, Ari. Great job. Thank you guys for joining. Our calendar is in the program book. We have our next event is July 28th. It's a virtual event. We run the world's largest monthly investor pitch events. We have 300 to 400 people at each event, and we do those monthly. So hopefully you can join us. You can go on our website if you need more information. And then in person, we're back to doing in person. We're hoping to do 8 or 9 over the next 12 months. So we're hoping for September 22nd in Rockville, followed by October 13th in DC, and then November in Baltimore, and then December back here in Tyson. So we have the place until 10 o'clock. So feel free to have some more food and drink and listen to some great jazz. And then we'll go upstairs around 8:45 or so. But I'd really like to give it up for our presenters because you guys are doing great things. And also to our awesome partners and sponsors because they're making it possible. So thank you guys. And please, thank you. So please engage with our presenting companies at their tables. Thank you guys so much for coming out.